And the Israeli occupation army proceeded to cut off all communications in the Gaza Strip. Communications were cut off and several areas of the city of Khan Yunis were bombed. As a result, several people were killed and others were injured. Our correspondent Huda Hegazi with more details.
Yesterday, at approximately 6 p.m. local time in Gaza, the Israeli occupation army proceeded to cut off all communications in the Gaza Strip. We found ourselves without internet, without telephone lines, without coverage, without anything. We spent about 15 hours without being able to communicate with anyone, without anyone being able to communicate with us. We as our reporters could not do our work since we could not communicate with our media and we could not know what Israel was bombing in the various governments of the Gaza Strip. However, we found out after this unexpected and surprising telecommunication cut that the Israeli warplanes proceeded to bomb different areas of the Gaza Strip. The main objective was to bomb the area around the hospitals, especially the Al-Shifa Hospital, the Indonesian Hospital, the Al-Quds Hospital, and the Al-Qadsa Hospital in the governance of Deir al-Balah. These attacks resulted in casualties and serious injuries. In this court, it was an attempt for Israel to do and commit crimes against the population here in the Gaza Strip, without anyone knowing what they were committing. And not only the hospitals were heavily bombed, but also different areas, especially in the north and in the center of the city of Gaza. Different streets such as the Al-Zaytun, the Tel al-Hawa, and the Al-Shihai area were heavily bombed, and unfortunately several Gazites lost their lives and many others were wounded. Telecommunications returned today at 9 a.m. local time in Gaza, and we discovered the great disaster that the army of the Israeli occupation has committed in this cut-off communications. This is not the first time that the Zionist occupation army proceeds to cut the communications here in the Gaza Strip. Twice before, the communications have been cut, and each time they were cut, Israel proceeded to commit atrocious crimes against the population in the Gaza Strip, and this is because Israel wants to commit more violations without the world knowing about the atrocities it commits against the Gazati populations here in the Gaza Strip.